Hi, lovely Sagittarius, my sign. So this is the weekly horoscope for the 13th of January to the 19th of January. We're going to do the horoscope and then we're going to pull a tarot card for the theme. So Sagittarius, on the 13th of January, we have a Cancer full moon in your 8th house of shared finances and investments and physical intimacy. So the moon rules Cancer, so it's already going to be quite sensitive. It is conjunct Mars retrograding in Cancer, which is not a good place for it to be. It's in its fall in Cancer. And it's also trining Neptune in Pisces, which to me actually works quite well with Sagittarius because Sagittarius and Pisces are both very spiritual, philosophical signs. So this could be a breakthrough in a spiritual way, or it could be some kind of release that's quite sensitive to do with investment. So you could be paying off a debt and it feels really good. It's like, oh, thank God for that. It's such a release. It's off my chest. You could be deciding that you cannot go on with the way that you've been spending money, so you need to save more. Or you could be releasing an attachment to somebody that you had a very sort of physical connection with, or even an emotional connection with in a very intimate way. So this is more so, more of a romantic kind of energy. And it can be very sensitive for you. This is definitely... I say this not only because of my experience, but also other people that I know. This makes a lot of sense if you have Capricorn placements as well. So for example, I'm a Sagittarius sun with a Capricorn rising. So I have a Sag sun that I'm letting go of the 8th house. I mean, we should be looking for our rising signs anyway. I mean, I always say that. But then we also have the Capricorn rising with the 7th house. So it's all about this intimate love connection that we're deciding to let go of. But actually, I just want to also mention on the 14th to 15th, it's a good time to take some time for yourself and distance yourself as much as possible. If you're in a customer-facing environment, maybe not so, but if you can get some time to yourself, it's good because there is a deeply personal element here where it's like, what you just said to me really cut to the core. And it was uncalled for. So, communication is a little bit On the 18th, Venus in Pisces will be conjunct Saturn in Pisces in your 4th house of home and family, a house that you'll hear a lot this year, Sagittarius. So you are taking more responsibility and actually a much more mature approach with home and family. So especially for the year coming up for 2025, we're really looking at how we can get stability in the home. So that's either the home that you're in right now, the location, or actual physical family with children, committed relationships, and building up what we can be a family. Because family doesn't have to be children, does it? It can be a wife, husband, and a dog, whatever you deem to be family, but you're getting more sensible about that approach now. And then on the 19th, the sun enters Aquarius in your 3rd house of productivity, writing, and, day-to-day routines and communication too. So this is good harmony for that, but with that Aquarius energy, which is more humanitarian and innovative, you are maybe taking a unique approach to writing, to doing some kind of study program, or something that you're doing at work is a bit more unique. And the communication that you're having is generally quite good here, and it's much more sort of community based. So it's taking more time to consider the people that you have in your life, and it comes across as considerate and kind too. So generally that's quite a good energy, but you are focusing on, investments for the future with that Cancer full moon, and then also the home and family as well. So let's get a tarot reading or a tarot card. The Sagittarius, the theme for the week. Oh, we got that straight away. Oh, interesting. So you actually have the Hermit in reverse, the Temperance in reverse, and 8 of Pentacles. So the Temperance card is normally actually a Sagittarius card, so to have that in reverse is very sort of Gemini. This would actually suggest with the 8 of Pentacles and that Temperance card, it links to this 8th house, because this is all about this slippery slope, especially when it comes to finances, of being impatient and wanting to get things paid off, wanting to have that kind of stability, but not quite achieving it yet. And so that can make you quite sensitive. It's also a link between, you are taking one approach that's just too, it's too stuck in its ways. You need to try and focus more on being patient and more fluid with things, okay? It can be really difficult when you feel trapped and you feel like, I don't want to do this, especially as a Sagittarius, right? And even with finances, when you're like, oh my God, I feel trapped with this. I feel impatient, just want this done, want this off my chest with that 8th house and the Cancer full moon. But it is a good time to be patient. And then you have the Hermit in reverse as well. This would suggest to me about that Sun entering Aquarius with the fourth house, with the third house, sorry, it's all about being a little bit more social. And you know what I just mentioned about Sun in Aquarius is community based. This is all about being more social, more community based. So you could find that you're a little bit more like talkative at certain points, especially towards the end of the week, and you're trying to be more understanding and empathetic towards people as well. So Sagittarius, I hope you have a lovely week, and I shall move on to Capricorn. Hello Capricorn, this is my rising sign, so I shall not lead you wrong here. This is the weekly horoscope from the 13th of January to the 19th of January, and we're also going to pull a tarot card at the end as well. So Capricorn, Mars is currently retrograding in Cancer, which is your sister sign. So you might find that you are having a little bit more frustration in your life, especially towards romantic relationships or anything that you have a contract with. But generally, this is heightened frustration. I know that I'm feeling it. I've been very teary every day and just honestly, Klaus Michelson levels of anger. Like, it's just not been good. But on the 13th of January, we have a Cancer full moon in your 7th house of committed relationships and contracts. So the moon rules Cancer, so it's already going to be more sensitive. It is also conjunct that Mars retrograding in Cancer and trining Neptune in Pisces. So as a Capricorn, you may find this kind of transit to be a bit weird, because Capricorn, the sun's in Capricorn right now. So also happy birthday to anyone who's got Capricorn placement. It's really about watching this Cancer full moon and saying, what is this behavior? You're being very strange, you know. Capricorn's very sort of like reserved and a bit more serious, and Cancer is just like blah, 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 everywhere, you know. So it's kind of like, what is this behavior? This is too much. It's very sensitive. In the 7th house of committed relationships, you could be having a breakthrough, especially spiritually, about a committed relationship, one you already have or one you want. Or you could also be letting go of a relationship that you thought would work out, or one that you already have, and that's going to be your choice. So it's not necessarily going to be done to you. I already know what this is for me. Although I thought I'd already done it, but apparently it keeps coming up, and I'm like, maybe it's still in my mind. And I'm thinking, I think it's still in my mind. So it's all about letting that go. It's a bit sensitive and a bit emotional, and also slightly passive aggressive too. So you better be careful there. On the 18th, Venus in Pisces will be conjunct Saturn in Pisces in your 3rd house of communication and productivity, writing, day-to-day routines, basically. So you're being more responsible with the way that you're communicating with other people. You're taking more of a mature approach with things that you're doing at work when you're writing, perhaps being a bit more professional. Or you're being a bit more serious about your sort of day-to-day routine and thinking, I need to do things that enrich my life, and I want to get more on a routine that's going to actually help me in the future. It's kind of it's thinking in the long run a little bit and actually doing it, but of course you're Saturn ruled Capricorn, so you will know this, but it's a bit more of a mature approach with those with that 3rd house. Then on the 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius in your 2nd house of income and finances, so great harmony when it comes to money. I need this right. And it's also a focus on innovation with money and doing things a bit differently, because Aquarius is very unique, it is very innovative. So you could be thinking about different ways to make income, or different ways to reframe the relationship you have with money. But also Aquarius is that humanitarian, community-based sign as well. So you could be thinking about how you can make money, but also be helping your community at the same time as well. And there's a lot of harmony with that. So Capricorn, you may find that you're a little bit more sensitive this week, which is perfectly fine. And if you do find that you are emotional, know that everyone else is going through it too, including me. I am on your side. But I will pull a tarot card and we'll see what's the theme for this week is. Intuitively, because I say like, oh, I've just done the theme of astrology, but it's more of an intuitive theme, and these seem to be super accurate this week. So let's see what we have. And we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is interesting to me because, you know, I was just saying about getting very mature about you know, things in your life when you're Saturn ruled and you're thinking about your 7th house of relationships. This is all about things have not really ended for you yet. You're still focusing on things in your mind. The Wheel of Fortune is normally like a bit of a conclusion, and it's also fate and destiny. So this would suggest, you know, to me in reverse, because I get this quite a lot sometimes, is that you have not yet, you've not yet won the battle. Right, you've not yet won the battle. You are still focusing on things in your head, especially to do with maybe somebody in your life that you thought you were destined to be with. And it's just like, No, girl, no. But it's also about taking fate into your own hands, taking that more mature, sensible approach, but manifesting what you want as well. And what I love the most about this is that it is great energy for saying, I can do whatever the hell I want and it's going to happen. You know, there is an element of, I am going to take this into my own hands, and I'm going to finally finish the battle. So this Cancer full moon for you in the 7th house, it might be a bit of a breakthrough rather than a release, because I'm thinking that you've not quite won the battle yet with that one. So Capricorn, I hope you have a lovely week, and I shall move on to Aquarius. Hi lovely Aquarius, and welcome to the weekly horoscope for the 13th of January to the 19th of January. We're going to do the horoscope and then pull a tarot card afterwards. So on the 13th of January, we have a Cancer full moon in your 6th house of physical health and wellness, but also co-workers and work environment. The moon rules Cancer, so this is going to be quite sensitive. It's also conjunct Mars retrograding in Cancer, where it's in its fall. It is not in a good place to be. It's very passive aggressive, and it's also trining Neptune in Pisces, which is a bit more of a spiritual kind of breakthrough energy here. So you could have a breakthrough or some kind of emotional letting go of something to do with a co-worker, for example. They could decide that they're leaving. You could think that I don't want to be in this work environment anymore. I have to leave, and it's very sensitive and emotional for you. Or you could find there's a breakthrough where it comes to physical health, and you're able to change up your routine, maybe because of an injury, or there's something that you have a little bit more of a, maybe I could do this and it actually works for me kind of energy. But it is a sensitive energy. On the 18th, Venus in Pisces will be conjunct Saturn in Pisces in your 2nd house of income and finances, which is a house you'll hear a lot this year, Aquarius, which is great for you, really building that empire. So this is a taking responsibility, sensible, more mature approach to finances. So you could be getting much more mature about saving money, not spending as much. Some of you might even decide to be going on a no-buy kind of thing. But you're generally not being as frivolous with your money, and you're deciding to be more mature about the future when it comes to your money as well. Then on the 19th, the Sun enters your sign, Aquarius, on the 1st, in the 1st house itself, which is great harmony for you, obviously. It is very sort of magnetic, attractive energy. But also Aquarius, of course, is that focus on innovation and uniqueness and community. So you could be finding that your purpose is a bit more driven for the next month or so with how you are appearing to the world. You want to put your best foot forward. You're very goal orientated now, but also you're trying to switch things up and, I don't know, show people why Aquariuses are so great. Aquarius is probably one of my top 3 favourite signs. I really like Aquarius, and I'm a Sag as well, so I'm really compatible with them. So let's pull a tarot card and see what the theme is for the week. I also just want to mention on the 14th to 15th, you might want to be careful about just keeping quiet, because it's a bit of a personal time where it's like, why did you say that to me? I don't want to have any issues. King of Cups in reverse. That is so funny, because King of Cups is such an entrepreneurial, innovative sign, kind of card. So to have it in reverse, interesting. This could suggest that you are, again, I think this is you trying to get really mature with money, because to have this in reverse is more Pentacles, earthy energy, which tends to be more materialism. So this would make sense with the Venus in Pisces conjunction with Saturn in Pisces in that 2nd house, because you are focusing on trying to perhaps go back to basics with money, and you're not trying to do something too crazy. It's a bit more of a mature approach. So I think you are, even though you are Aquarius and you do things more uniquely, this is definitely more trying to be more mature and reliable with some element of material possession. It doesn't have to be money, it could be an asset like a house, car, whatever you have that you own, it's material, you're getting mature about that. So that makes a lot of sense. So Aquarius, I hope you have a lovely week, and I shall move on to Pisces. Hi Pisces, how are you doing? So this is the weekly horoscope from the 13th of January to the 19th of January, and this might be a bit of an emotional kind of week for you. Interestingly, the North Node has turned to Pisces on the 11th of January. Some people say it's the end of the month, but it's 11th of January. it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's January, right? So I mean, I have people arguing with me that all the time. Like, it's still January. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, it's still January. And that is obviously in your first house of self. So you're focusing a lot more on your intuition and purpose in life as well. But on the 13th of January, we have a Cancer full moon in the 5th house of creativity, dating and children. The moon rules Cancer, which is more kind of sensitive. It's also a very motherly, family-based energy. So in that 5th house of children as well, there is a crossover of feeling hypersensitive around something you're trying to nurture. It is, the moon is conjunct Mars retrograding in Cancer, where it's in its fall. It does not go well. And it's also trining Neptune in your sign, Pisces. So you could have a bit more of a spiritual breakthrough, especially with your identity and how it relates to children, dating, and, you know, the way you're being creative and how you're expressing fun in life. So yes, you could be letting go of something to do with dating. It could be ending a period of dating or deciding to do something differently there. Again, maybe this links to a spiritual breakthrough. You could be deciding to, you know, move on from something in your head. I see this as less physical and more, you know, in the air, in your subconscious about children. Or you could be ending one kind of creative pursuit and moving on to another. Also just want to mention on the 14th to 15th that it might be a little bit dicey and personal when it comes to emotions again, so just be careful about, you know, what you're saying. And, you know, I always say this, but if you don't think you should say it, just don't say it. On the 18th, Venus in Pisces, your sign, will be conjunct Saturn in Pisces, again in your sign, in the 1st house of self. Obviously Venus in Pisces is still happening right now, which makes you very magnetic and attractive and able to manifest quite a few things in your life. But with a conjunction to Saturn in Pisces, this is a much more sensitive, sorry, not sensitive, I'm saying sensitive so much I'm getting stuck, a serious, sorry, more mature, responsible approach to your identity and yourself. So you could be getting a bit more mature about your, you know, your goals in life, especially with that Venus in Pisces, where you're trying to come across as attractive and magnetic to people so you can get what you want. You're trying to be laser focused on goals. And I think for a lot of you, if I'm looking at your year as a whole in 2025, that is a focus on home and family and trying to, you know, seal the deal with how you're coming across to the world and, you know, being the person that you want to be. You're getting more mature about that and being like, I'm not going to fuck around anymore. I need to be serious about things. I need to get my stuff in order, basically. On the 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius in your 12th house of mental health. So this is great harmony for having a little bit more joy in your life and also getting a good mental health routine set up. Aquarius is much more innovative and unique, but it's also community-based. So you could find that you are, you know, able to speak to people and you're talking about your mental health, but you're not also hiding things as well. You can be a little bit more open and expressive because Aquarius, they don't care. You know what I mean? Like, people say Aquariuses are really robotic, and sometimes they can be, especially if they're male Aquariuses. But a lot of the time, they're actually really just like let their freak flag fly, and they're not really that judgmental. So, in my opinion, so I think actually it's a bit more like you can open up with your mental health as well. But you might also find that you're doing things for your mental health that's a little bit more unique than normal, and you're really just, you know, I think this will work for me. Maybe I'm going to do this meditation routine. There's so much energy with Pisces this week as well, especially with the North Node in Pisces, and then you've got the conjunction. It's an element of mental health, subconscious mind, affirmations, and manifestation. So it's a great week to understand what you really want on a subconscious level. Not just like what I'm saying, oh yeah, I want this. Like, what do you want deep inside your intuition? Do you really want what you think you want? Maybe my tummy just went. So I think it's more about thinking, well, what do I really want? Am I dreaming this because it's just there to dream, or am I actually going to go out there and do this, you know, and get mature about this? Pisces is that dreamer or doer approach. It's much more of a dreamer. I know, my Pisces moon, Delulu central. So it is more about taking that approach and thinking, what do I really want seriously, not what's everyone else telling me what I want, right? Okay, so let's get a tarot card for Pisces, for the PISCES, or in Dutch, de Visse. Four of Pentacles. Interesting. This is really about holding on to something that you just shouldn't be holding on to. It's a hoarder energy. It's like holding on for dear life. This is interesting when it comes to finances, but also how finances are linked to your central identity. This is actually interesting. I always find this quite linked to the Cancer full moon as well. So interesting, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is you're holding on to something that you really deeply do need to let go of, especially with that Cancer full moon in the 5th house, and a bit more of an emotional sort of letting go linked to your identity. You could find that you're like, I'm holding on to this, but I realized what I just said. I'm only holding on to it because I thought it's what I wanted, but I don't think it is what I want anymore. So you could find that you are deciding to let go of something that does not serve you anymore. You're releasing it and you're thinking, oh, I don't even think I even wanted that anyway, you know? And feeling good about that. And again, you're leading with your intuition now, Pisces, much more so than normal, and finding that that's actually very helpful for you too. So Pisces, that concludes the weekly horoscope for all the signs. I hope you have a lovely week and I shall see you next time. Bye.